So what are the topic we covered yesterday? Can you confirm? Just share your yesterday learning. Yeah, we'll start.
Yeah, hello everyone. Spandana here. Yesterday we learned HTML helpers that are like server controls, and it is the extension method of HTML helper class and IHTML helper interface. Um, then types of HTML helpers like standard helpers, strongly typed helpers, uh, templated HTML, templated HTML for helper, and custom helpers. Um, uh, and also we learn model binding. Like model binding is responsible for extract data from the users, like he's parsing request data into a actionable receiving parameter. For example, like if we are using a string username, command string password, then username and password behaving like model binding.
Okay. Thank you. So please go to lab 4, second one. Yeah, next one, please. We'll start.
Yesterday we also learned about the get and post method. We learned to send data to server using get and as well as in post method. And in case of get, the data in case of get, the data will be sent to server as a query string. But when you using the post method, data should be sent to the server using the request body form. And we also learn I just add to Spandana the iForm collection. We yesterday we learned about the iForm collection. When we use the to create a dynamic control in runtime, we might use we might not sure that how many control data you are sending to the server. And that's why we can use the iForm control.
You can use over there iForm collection.
Yeah, iForm collection.
Okay. What's next? The next one, please. Imani. Are there? Ritika.
We had also discussed about the other things like why is client side, how whether client side validation should be done first or server side validation. Like the server side validation should be done first, and then we should go for client side validation, and which one is faster, and why client side validation is faster. Meaning client side validation is faster because it saves us the round trips, and it also, meaning the user interaction is better. The user is very confident when he submits the form. We had also discussed the difference between a function and the method. these tools. Like
Hmm.
if there is a function in a class, then that means it is a method. In OOPS, there is no function, there is only methods. We had also talked about the lambda statements, the lambda operator that we use in LINQ, and anonymous methods. We have learned about them in the last class. Anonymous methods, that are methods which don't have any name, but they have a method. They have parameters and they have their code. They can be a single line methods, and they can also be multi-line methods.
Okay. Thank you. So do clap. The next one, please. Shiva Mohan. Shiva Mohan, are you there? Raghuda Ranjan. Can you share learning from yesterday's session? Raghuda Ranjan, are you there? Imani, Tripati Ranjan. Guys, are you joining the session? You will just join it only for attendance purpose.
We also yesterday learned about the razor syntax. Razor syntax and routing pattern.
So what is razor?
Madam?
What is razor?
Razor syntax to
So razor is a server-side markup syntax which is helping you to create the dynamic web pages. I remember it. So yesterday what we have done, whenever there is a requirement to manipulate the HTML markup, so we did the manipulation using the for loop, we did the manipulation using the if statement. Even inside the HTML markup, we able to integrate the C# variable as well, isn't it? So razor is a server-side markup syntax which is helping us to create the dynamic web pages. Then
rest things are already discussed, like HTML helper, model binding. Already we have discussed.
okay. Prakash, can you share your learning, please? Prakash fan. Prakash, are you there? Tripati Ranjan. Imani. T.R. Patnaik. Sumendra Sahu. Guys, are you speaking? Because I'm not getting the response from your end.
Yes, yesterday we have hi, this is Somendra. Yesterday we have discussed about the tag helper. Allow the server-side code to embed within the HTML. Written in the C# and HTML element based on the attribute name and parent tag or parent tag. And different type of tag helper are there, like the form tag helper, tag input tag, label tag, anchor tag helper, image.
So what is the benefit of
This
using
type
the
of
tag helper?
pardon?
What is the benefit of using the tag helper?
It is easy to handle and existing HTML code, just we can write there sends to SP, send to SP, like this code only we can use the existing HTML code.
So if you're looking at the tag
That is-
helper, so tag helpers are easy to integrate with our HTML markup design, which is given Alexa, which is handover by the designer or UI developer. So we don't need to modify the things much as we do in case of HTML helpers, as we do in case of extraordinary web form, where the complete UI we need to replace with the server controls, with the HTML helpers. But tag helper is just about the existing HTML element, we just extending by adding the new attributes, isn't it?
Yes.
And even it is HTML friendly as well. So anyone can now read the HTML and in the HTML style. You don't need to worry about the razor syntax. You don't need to learn about the C# over there. We just using the plain HTML markup and adding some attributes over there. Smriti Ranjan, please do share your learning from yesterday's session. Smriti Ranjan, are you there? So guys, please do clap for Sumandra Sahu. Okay. And
Hello.
meanwhile, yeah, tell me.
Yeah, actually, one more thing. Actually, we have read, that is the benefits of name and ID of input type. Hello.
Please go ahead. So what is the benefit of name attribute and ID attribute?
Yeah, name attribute is always responsible for hosting the input value in the server side. Whereas the ID actually attribute helps to manipulate at client side.
Okay. So the thing is, when it is coming to HTML form elements, if you're willing to send the data to server side, that time name attribute is helpful. And if you're willing to do the manipulation client side using JavaScript or jQuery library, so their ID will help you.
Yeah.
Anything else do you want to share?
I think all are defined. My colleagues are already.
Not an issue. Whatever the learning you want to share, share. Apart from this, what is your learning for your colleague?
I've learned the model blending, lambda expressions.
What is lambda expression?
Lambda expression I used for actually rewrite the anonymous method.
Hmm.
And anonymous method is actually used to create the inline method.
Mhm. So how we create the anonymous method?
Method actually inside an expression that we have write.
No, that is fine. How we write the code for anonymous method? What do we use to create the anonymous method? Smriti Ranjan, are you there?
It is used for it is for reusability purpose we have used.
No, that's
And one
fine.
time-
I'm not denying. I'm saying what we use to create the anonymous method. That thing I'm asking. Anonymous method you cannot write directly. We need to use something. What it is that?
Delegate.
Hmm. So we use delegate to create the anonymous method.
Yes, yes.
Hmm. So guys, here the few people are not responding. I need to figure out those people. Shivam Mohan, are you there?
Actually, I'm talking in mobile. I have connected 2 times through
No,
mobile and
no,
laptop.
that's fine. You replied to me. But few people are not responding. I need to figure out the name. I'm asking to everyone now. Sudhakar, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Shiva Mohan. Shiva Mohan, are you there? You can also tell me through the chat as well. If there is a mic issue, there is no issue. I can understand. Shiva Mohan is not responding. Jyoti Ben.
Hi, Shagadra. This is Jyoti. Yesterday we have learned what is the difference between function and method. Okay. Functions defined in a class referred as methods. It's purely object-oriented language. Inside object-oriented language, functions can be referred as methods. But outside the class, it can be referred as functions, like your JavaScript functions. Okay. Then we have discussed how to create custom tag helper. We have done also a demo project using view context, or we have seen how using a custom tag helper we can highlight the currently selected link.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Thank
Okay.
you.
Then we have discussed data validations. How you
No, I'm saying, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm saying thank you. All the things we have covered, there is no issue. I need to just figure out the people are not responding.
sorry,
Preeti,
your voice is not clear.
I'm saying it's fine.
Maybe your voice not clear, not clearly.
Preeti, Pranagya are there. Siva, do share your learning from chat. If you cannot speak, there is an issue. Preeti Pragna is there. Guys, I'm right. I'm noting down all the name. The people who are not responding. Please do share your status quickly. Preeti, what is the issue at your end? Prakash. Prakash, are you there? Guys, if you will not respond, I will note down your name and I need to share with your management. Please do respond quickly. What are the issue you are having? Prakash, are you there? Mrityunjay? Guys, can you confirm from your end? Say yes or no if you are there. If you are having any issue, then do let me know. Mrityunjay, Tripudi Ranjan.
Hello. Yes, Smriti.
Yes,
Hello.
Mrityunjay, do share learning from yesterday's session.
So yesterday session we have learned regarding the like and tag helper, the different type of tag helper like an anchor tag helper and input type image tag helper, and how to create the custom tag helper. Or then you also know how to create the anonymous methods. Okay, and then how to
So
create
what
the
is
like
lambda expression?
lambda expression is one of the expression for using in the link queue query. So that can be used in the use for the anonymous method.
So only link query we use lambda. We don't use anywhere lambda expression.
Link query means any kind of objects will be returned. If you want to filterization something like that, or also compare between the data in any objects. So in that case, you use the lambda expression.
So what is the purpose of lambda expression? Yesterday I told this one, if you remember. I told this one also what is a lambda expression. Even today also people tell what is lambda expression.
Okay.
You remember what the people said about the lambda expression?
No.
Okay, what of the this learning? Can you tell me the benefit of tag helpers?
In tag helper, you can like implementing the HTML template in easier manner to manage the like HTML tag but using the whatever the tag helper is there. So that means let's example one text box, so whatever we had discussed yesterday. So that means during the post method and rendering, it will keep the value. So that does not require to write the inline query. It will manage the code easily, HTML code.
Can you share your yesterday code what you did?
Sorry.
I'm asking, can you share your yesterday code what you did?
So we have write the code for the
Now,
validation.
same thing I'm asking. Please open your yesterday code sample and show it to me.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, tell me. I given the permission to share the screen. You can share the screen.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Okay, Siva Mohan, I need to check your code as well. What you did? Preeti, Pranagya, you have to also share your code. What you did? Please open your code. I want to look at the people. What you are doing? Sumendra Shahu, you should also. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Did you write the HTML helper code? Don't run it only, just show me the code. I'm not looking at how it is running. I need to just check it whether you write the code or not. That's it. Okay, please stop your sharing the screen, Siva Mohan. The next person, please share your screen. Sumendra Sahu, I need to check your screen as well. Smriti Ranjan. Tripati Ranjan. Are there guys? Priti Pranagya. Can you share your screen? Okay, Tripati Ranjan, share the screen. Okay, write it. Oh, but where you registered your tag helper? Why? Can you show me the tag helper, the helpers one sample as well? Where we did the example of the helper one. Don't run it. I just need the code only. I don't want to run it. By looking at the code, I can understand. Can you show me the helpers example as well? Ranjan, can you open the helper sample code? Just close the solution. Please open the helper one. I don't want to look at this one. Before this MVC validation session, we did the sample code with helpers. Please do share that one. Where that sample code you have? Do you have that sample code? Tripati Ranjan, are you opening that code as well? The helpers one. Okay, this is the helpers one code also wrote. Okay, that's fine. Okay, just stop sharing your screen. That's fine. The next one, please. Yeah, Preeti Pranagya. Can you share your screen, please? Okay, you did well. Okay, that's fine. Stop your sharing the screen. Who is left? I think Smriti Ranjan. Can you share your screen, please? Are there? T.R. Patnaik, can you share your screen, please? So Tripati Ranjan, I have just seen your screen. No, I'm asking from the different one. Smriti Ranjan. There is a one more person, Smriti Ranjan. Hey guys, can you share your screen, please? T.R. Patnaik. Are you there? T.R. Patnaik?
T.R. Patnaik and Prithviraj Patnaik are same.
Which one? Okay, okay, that's fine. Not an issue. Where is Murthy Ranjan? Okay, not an issue. I think Murthy Ranjan not in the session. Sudhakar?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me. So guys, make sure everyone is doing the hands-on. Okay, so that you can take the benefit of this training, because company ultimately doing some investment. If you are not doing the hands-on, so it's not only from the company loss, it's your loss as well. Okay, so please upgrade your skill set so that you will be able to work on the latest technologies. When you will work on the latest technology, you will be upskilled and you will get the better opportunity as well inside the same company and on different projects as well. So please take the things on serious note. If you're having any issue, any doubt while doing the hands-on, please do let me know. I'm here to help you. Even I didn't say I cannot help you. Even I didn't leave any person. But my expectation is whatever we are doing here, you are also following. Is it fine? So guys, do you have any query regarding the yesterday session? Or like any query when we started this training program? Do you have any query? And guys, please respond to me. If you're having the mic issue, that's fine. At least you can talk to me through the chat. If you're having the mic issue. Okay, guys, one more thing I want to tell you here. I hope everyone is doing the exercise. Are you doing the exercise?
Yes.
How many people started the exercise? Meditation. I hope everyone is doing. Are you feeling any difference now in your energy level?
Yes.
Are you finding any difference in your energy level? Tell me frankly.
Yes, I used to do exercise.
No, the people who already having such routine, so I can understand they're having such thing as well. I'm asking for those people who just started. Are they finding any difference in their energy level? Anyone can share your experience, because until you will not share your experience, how I will get to know like how the other people get motivated, who didn't start it. So please motivate your colleague as well to follow this habit, isn't it? Okay, now the second thing is, today I will start with one more important thing, that is about time management. I will take your 10 minutes to explain time management, because this is very important when you are working on any project, when you are going to decide to complete any task in a decided timeline. So what is happening nowadays, we actually doing work from home. In the work from home, we having the family responsibility as well. We having the office work as well. And sometimes it is very difficult to manage the time. Am I right? Is it true? Are you finding some issue while doing the time management? If you're finding, please listen to my 2-day tips. I'm not saying you should make a timetable, you should do the things. No, because usually what the people say, you should note down the activity, you should do that one, because timetable, even I created the timetable so many times in my college life, but I didn't follow it properly. So even I'm not saying here you should create the timetable, but only one thing to understand here, how the highly productive people are actually highly productive. The reason behind that is they understand two things only. You have to just focus on two things: urgency of task. So task urgency, you can divide into this section: important, we having let's say urgent, we can say over here let's say not urgent, let's say urgency can be here, let's say normal as well, that's a normal task. Not urgent, okay, not important. So in 4 categories we can divide our task, what we are going to do today. So the thing is, actually we do the timetable, I'm sure you already having such thing in your mind, let's say today this is the task list which I'm going to complete. But one thing I'm just going to add here, just give them urgency as well, whether it is important or whether it is not important, urgent or normal. And here you need to understand one secret. Do you want to know that secret? To complete this task, the secret of energy is very important here. So the thing is, actually when you wake up in the morning and you do the breakfast, so in the first half we having the high energy level. So we having actually energy level as well. So we having the high energy level, we having the medium, and we having the low energy. So these are the level of energy. So what you should do here, you should always do the important task when your energy level is high. Even sometime you have experience, let's say you are fixing a bug yesterday night, but yesterday night you will not able to fix that bug. You put over there more than 2 and 3 hours, but somehow you was not succeeded. But of the same work, if you will open early morning, that you able to fix it only in few minutes, sometimes only in few hours. Have you experienced such things with you? So what is the magic? The same bug which I was not able to fix last night, today morning I fix it in a few minutes. Do you know the reason behind it? The reason is energy. Actually, yesterday night, when you're trying to fix, it was night time. So your energy level was low. So, and your mind also not concentrated. So that because of low energy, you are not able to complete that task. So always remember, the highly productive people first do the important task for the day. Then they do the normal task when they having the energy level as medium, let's say second half. They do not urgent tasks in the evening, but the energy level is low. Got it? So please prioritize or put some labor on your task this way. Even you have experience in the first half, you are more productive as compared to the second half. And this rule can be different for some other people as well. Some people might be more productive in evening. Some people might be more productive in morning. This is also true. I'm not denying. So figure out your energy level, whether you are having energy in morning in the first half, whether you feel the high energy in the second half. Few people feel the high energy in second half as well. So arrange the task as your energy level, not as per your timetable. If you will do that one, you would be highly productive person for that day. This is a secret. Trust to me. Okay. Try to implement and do let me know the result of this tip, like result of these tricks which I'm telling to you. Do you find out these tips helpful about time management? Okay, so you need to always find out your energy level, at what time you feel more energy, and based upon that, do the more important task for that day at that time. And the second thing is, one more thing to understand here, please stay away from social media, because what is happening, the people are more busy on Facebook, they are busy on WhatsApp. I'm sure you also be the part of the WhatsApp, some group, you might be the part of some others community, and even you might having the subscription of Amazon Prime, Netflix. So my suggestion is here, please stay away from the social media as much as you can, because social media also wasting our time on the daily basis. I'm not saying you can completely ignore these things. No, you cannot, but try to manage the time. Give some time. Let's say in the morning, I will check my Facebook. Then in the evening, I will check my Facebook. In between, I will not check it. Same way, decide a time to do that one. Otherwise, what will happen? Somehow it will kill your productivity. If you're having a habit in between checking the news, doing your task, checking some, uh, uh, let's say the match score, doing the task. So ultimately, your energy is divided. So don't divide your energy. What are the tasks you are doing? Use that energy only for doing the task. You will find out the change over there. That task would be completed now more in less time. Sorry, if you are going to focus on an energy, so don't do that one. So this is the third tip I'm telling you. Please stay away from the social media. If you're having the TV at your home, and if you're having the habit of watching the nonsense news, so nobody can help you in that case, because in the news TV stream, they are just serving masala. They are not serving anything important for your life, for your daily routine. Everything is manipulated as per their agenda. There is no actually the real news over there. So why you are wasting your time? Why you are thinking about somebody else with which you don't have any connection? So think about how can be I more productive, and what are the tasks are given to me? How can do those tasks in better way? Because sometimes it happens, you might having the workload because of the project and all the things, and if you are engaging yourself with this unnecessary activity, so ultimately you will be get frustrated. So frustration is not only coming only from working from home. Frustration is coming because we are not managing our thought as well, because we are not working on the mental fitness. Do you know about how important is nowadays mental fitness is? Everyone is only focusing about the physical fitness. We should do the exercise, we should do the yoga, meditation. I'm also saying you should do it, but also work on your mental fitness as well. Until you are not mentally fit, you're not able to do the other things. So mental fitness is very, very important nowadays as per the current trend, because anyone can and do the brainwashing of you. Who's doing your brainwashing? Facebook is doing your brainwashing. News channel are doing your brainwashing. Anyone. Even I'm also doing your brainwashing. But figure out who is doing the brainwashing for achieving something and who is doing the brainwashing in the wrong direction. Don't think I'm not doing the brainwashing. I'm also doing a brainwashing right now. But brainwashing, if someone is doing for achieving my goal, to add value into my life, we should always follow that person. If somebody is doing the brainwashing to spend my money, to unnecessarily engage my time, that is a wrong one. So please think about this one also, and make a habit to watch a clip about the motivation. There are so many YouTube channels available. From there you can find out the motivational videos, so that you will also feel connected to those people. Because so many people think about why the God is doing bad with me, why I'm facing so many challenges, why I'm doing the struggle. So guys, you are not the alone. The people nowadays who finding out these are successful, they also face the same challenges. They also face the same struggle they did. Even they did the struggle more than you, if you look at the story. But they never think about their challenges and the struggle. They having a clear-cut vision. I need to complete this task and I want to be at that position. So make sure everyone having a coach and mentor. Do you know, when we start going for school, that time we having the teacher over there, and those teachers tell us what to do, what not to do, and they put so many good habits in us. But when we left the school and college, after that we didn't have our own mentor. So the thing is, if you want to be get, just remember it, if you want to get the good score in your 10th, 12th and your college life, you need a guru, you need a teacher over there. Without teacher you cannot score good. Same way, if you want to have a good career, if you want to score good in your real life, do you think you don't need a coach? You need a coach. Even I'm also having my coach. So the difference between the successful person and a common man is, common man does not have a coach. A successful person having always a coach. That coach is helping him to get the success in his career, whether it's a personal life, whether it's a professional life. Just read out the biography of any successful person, you will figure out they actually in touch with some guru, some mentor. Those mentors change their life. Those mentors change their career. Same thing happened with your college and school life as well. If you want to score well, you have to go to the teacher. You have to join tuition over there. But here we are not doing those activities when we came in the real game. So real game also need the coach. If you want to be more productive, if you want to be more successful in your life personally and professionally. Got the point? But explain to you. Yeah, guys, can you confirm from your end? So figure out who can be your coach, who can be your mentor. If you don't have a mentor, if you don't have the coach, you cannot do the things beyond your thinking. Or you cannot do the unexpected output. So please find out the person. It can be your friend. It can be me also. It can be some other person. Figure out who is actually helping you to grow personally and professionally. But first then need to work out your personal life as well. Okay, because to be a successful person is not about only to have a technical skill. To be a successful person, you need to work out in every area. Your personal life, your personality, your characters, your technical skill set, your communication skill set, everything matters. If you're thinking only having the technical skill set, I can get the success. No, nobody can get. At every level, you need to work out. Remember it. So this is my thing from you, and it is very important. If you will follow it, you will not face an issue. Don't worry. So good to go ahead now. Sorry, learning something that is very, very important. Are you learning only ASP.NET Core? What you said? Okay. Okay, come back to the technical stuff. And guys, please do start implementing these things and do let me know your experience. Because if you will let me know, I can correct you. If something is not happening well with your daily routine, with your personal life, with your professional life as well, so I can correct you. Like this is my responsibility as a mentor, as a coach. I think I don't think myself as a trainer. Okay, so the thing is, yesterday we completed the server-side validation with this one approach, explicit model validation. Even this is the traditional way to do it. But how we can do it in well way? So in that case, we should use a data annotation approach. So to do the things, let me use the data annotation approach. So open your user model class and just use here some namespace using system.component model, then data annotation. Then I'm using here the attribute required because I'm willing to make the name as required. Then I'm defining the error message as error message. I'm defining it, please enter name this way. Now same thing I will do for each and everything. Username, password, confirm password, and contact number. So just do mention here for username, do mention here for password. And for password, I can confirm password, I can use a compare. In compare, I'm putting here password this way. So please enter, no, sorry, the confirm password does not match. So confirm password does not match this way. Then I'm just using here, please accept terms. This is my accept terms. So what are the validation we are willing to apply at name, username, we can apply over there. If you're willing to define the thing for the a regular expression as well, I can define here a regular expression. So we having here regular expression, and do pass my regular expression. So I'm having a regular expression. So in India, mobile number can start from 789 this way, and total number of digit can be here 10. So I'm using this one and slash. And here I can mention the contact number is not correct. Sorry, it's a mobile number. Mobile number is not correct. So this way I can mention it. So this is the way we can define the things here. Now let me use this class and put it here. So this is the way I just define everything here. So the code I shared through the chat window, you can copy from there and use it. And do let me know when you will complete. Okay, if you have completed, so just do one thing here. So now we don't need to check the things explicitly, just comment these two if statement inside your account controller. Okay. Then look at your account sign up page. Everything's fine. Now just run the code. You have to just comment out these two if statement in the sign up page and run the code here. So this time what we are doing, we just define everything at the property level, and those validation will start working on the server side node. Now run the code. So if you're looking at here, click at the sign up button. It is coming to the server side. And you can see the model state is invalid. It is coming false. So if we look at here, we having the enter name, username, password. Okay, so it is the server side validation automatically working fine. But if you're looking at, we are not getting any error message for checkbox. Even we are not getting any error message for contact number, because in the contact number we have not entered any value. So when you will enter any value, that time it will check and throw the exception. Okay. So you can enter it here. So you can see it is a server side. So now the thing is, if you're willing to create your own custom validation, because what is happening for my checkbox, validation is not working. If you want to work apply the validation on the checkbox as well. So how we can apply? By creating our own custom attribute. So how we can create it? Before that, let's look at the required attribute class. So this required attribute class is inheriting this validation attribute class. If you're looking at same validation attribute class, I will inherit and create my own custom attribute. So just do one thing here. Guys, make sure you are following to me. Just add a folder. I'm adding a folder, and folder name is attributes. So now inside the attributes folder, I will add a class, and the class would be here. Any class, any class name you can give. Let's say I'm just giving my class name as validate checkbox. Let's say my class name is validate checkbox. It's a normal class we adding in the attributes folder. And when you will complete the addition of this validate checkbox class into your attributes folder, do let me know. Okay, very good if you have completed. So do one thing here, as we are inheriting it from validation attribute class, same way we need to inherit it from the validation attribute. Simply add the namespace, simply. So we adding the namespace here. Now there is a method which I'm going to override here. If I look inside this validation attribute class, we having here some virtual method. This is the virtual method. And this virtual method I can override in my child class. Even they having this property, the method format error message, they having the property for error message, they having a property for error message resource name. So this error message property I can use into my drive class as well. Same I'm just going to do here. I will use simply. So now let me override the method. Which method? I'm going to override. I'm just going to override here method is valid. Is valid. This method I'm going to override here. And here we will write the logic to check the validity. So here I will write the code, but before that, let me use this class at this terms property level. I'm adding this class validate checkbox at the namespace. So I just copy this class name, putting here now. And this error message property is coming from the parent class, begin the parent class validation attribute. We have in this property. And you can see this value is coming here Boolean type. So this value will come into this field. Now I can write here a condition if value is true. Means if you have checked the checkbox, then validation is passed. But if you have not checked the checkbox, then validation is failed. Return false. So this way we are checking for the value of the checkbox. So value of the checkbox would be true and false based upon whether we have checked the checkbox or not. Okay. But this same statement you can rewrite in a more simpler way. How can write? We get say Boolean type value. So Boolean type you can have only true and false. we don't have any other possibility. So we don't need to write the complete if else statement, just only converting the received value into the Boolean type. I can do that one simply. Okay.
Please open the user model.cs class.
So the user model, you could just add this class to this. So have you completed this one?
And go to validate checkbox.
And validate checkbox. Let me share the code with you.
Here we have used object for value parameter. Any reason?
The thing is, it's using the object. The reason is here, value can be integer value can be a string, value can be a boolean.
Okay. If 0 or 1 will come, we can convert it to Boolean.
So you have to decide where you are using this one. And this is the method available in this base class. So that base class method, I'm just overriding. I'm not writing this method. It's a method overriding.
Please open the user model CS.
I'm sharing this complete code if you're having an issue because I didn't write any code here apart from decorating it with that attribute. Code I shared through the chat window, you can copy and use it.
Yes, sir.
And for this validate checkbox also, it is simple one. This code I also shared the validate checkbox. So guys, now you will run the code, you will see now we will have the error message for checkbox as well when you will run the application. Click over there, it's coming to the server side and showing the error message for the checkbox as well. You can see. So my custom validation attribute we have now created by extending this validation attribute class. Or you can say by inheriting this validation attribute class. Are you getting the same behavior? Okay, that's fine if you're getting the same behavior. So now the thing is, we have done with the server-side validation over here. If you want to replicate the same logic on the client side, how we can replicate the same thing on client side? So for replicating the same thing on the client side, we need to use JavaScript library like jQuery. So here in ASP.NET Core, we having the jQuery validation library that we can use to replicate the things on the client side. And it is pretty much easy. You don't need to put so much code, even you don't need to write so much code over here.
So Shalendra, here validation attribute is abstract class, and we have extended in validate checkbox class. We have override the isValid method. Can we create a different class where also we can override the isValid class?
This is my different class.
Yes.
And
if we want to create a
this
different
method
class,
you can override anywhere because this is my parent class.
We can create multiple class which will be inherited from validation attribute
Yeah,
and
right.
override the isValid method. Right.
You're right.
Okay.
So anything else?
Shalendra, I'm getting error. Can I share my screen? Yeah, I'm getting.
I've added the namespace. Even it is suggesting you to add the namespace. Can you check this bulb icon which is coming when you bring mouse over?
Yeah.
What it is saying?
Generate type validate checkbox, change the validate
Can
checkbox.
you go to that validate checkbox class? I think something missing. Can you open the validate checkbox class? So
Yeah,
please complete the code over here. So how you can expect it will work over there? Have you done the code as I write it?
Okay, you have shared, yeah.
So I hope everyone has completed the things, am I right? So now the thing is how we can replicate the same thing on the client side. So for this purpose, we need to add here jQuery library. Even if you're looking at this www root folder, we having a library for jQuery validation and jQuery validation unobtrusive. So these three library we needed to validate the things on the client side. Even if you're looking at this underscore layout, we already using the jQuery library over here. You can see we already using bootstrap JavaScript file over there. And now we having here a section, and the section name is here script. So this section actually will help us to render the section which we have defined at the content page. Because what is happening here, I need to add these three library. Sorry, these two library, jQuery validate min and jQuery validate unobtrusive min. So these two libraries should come after the jQuery. But if I will add these two library at the sign up page, because I need to apply the client side validation. So what I need to do here, I need to render my partial view. So this is a syntax they are using to render the partial view. Even partial we can render using the partial tag as well. This one. Partial tag. Let me mention the simple way to render it simply. This one. So this partial tag I'm rendering, and this partial view, what will do? It will render the library which we added on this partial view. So this partial view, these two library reference we added. So what will happen? this sign up page content will render on this underscore layout using this @render body method. So this @render body method is actually responsible to render the content of the sign up page. So the sign up page content will render at this place. So what will happen? The jQuery library also will added at this place. So in this case, before the original jQuery library, we added the jQuery library dependency. So we start getting the error, $ is undefined, jQuery is undefined. So to render it after the jQuery library, we need to define a section. So what is the section we are defining here? The same section will look for at the sign up page. The sign up page is having a section with the name script. So that section will render over here. So it means these two library we are rendering over here using this section. And where this section we have defined? This section we have defined at the sign up page. Are you got it now? The benefit and the objective of this section. So this section is helping us to render any script section from the content page over here in place of here, because the jQuery library is similar with the CSS having some dependencies. So after the dependency, the thing should be rendered. We always use the section in ASP.NET Core. Same is available on this. So this is my section name script, and same is defined at the sign up page. This is the script. You can see. And what are the code you will write here? That code will render here after the jQuery library. Now run the code and it start working now without any issue. So now when you will click on the sign up button, it's working on the client side now. This way you can see error message is going to disappear, name is going to disappear. Is it fine? So are you getting the same behavior now of the client side validation? Can you confirm through the chat window? Okay, good if you're getting the same behavior. Okay, that's fine. But if you're looking at here, still my checkbox validation is not working. Because as we created our server-side validation, similar way we need to create the client-side validation as well for the checkbox. Then it will start working. Otherwise, it will not start working. Got it? But before that, let's understand how only adding these two libraries, the client side validation is start working. So in that case, you need to understand, you need to look at the source code. If you look at the source code, let me wrap this markup. So this is my source code. And in the source code of the page, you will find out we having here data dash well attribute. We having here data dash well required. Then we having the error message. Please enter name. Same attribute you will find out on each text box. So you can find out this is data well true. This is here data well required. This way. So what is happening? The jQuery validation library are reading these data attributes. Even in HTML5, when you're talking about the HTML5, in HTML5, we having the concept of data attributes. So data attributes are ignored by the browser at the time of rendering. And these data attributes are read by the jQuery validation library to validate the things on the client side. Even we having the same error message here also. Please enter name, please enter username, please enter password. So jQuery is not doing any magic. Whatever the things we added using the data annotation attribute at the class field label, same thing added into the markup. Now the jQuery using the data attribute for reading those attribute and showing and hiding the error messages on the client side. Got it? So this is the way how it is working. When we say client side validation, is it clear how the client side validation is working? So same thing we need to do here for the checkbox as well. So just do one thing, just open here your validate checkbox class, and I'm having interface client model validator. Client model validate. Now implement the interface. So in this client model validator, we having this method, and as we having their data attribute, similar way we add here data attributes here also to complete the things. So now let me add here the same data attribute context dot attributes dot add. I'm adding the data attribute data des well des anything which you want to make here. Let's say I'm using here validate checkbox is my attribute. Define the error message. Please accept terms. This one adding it. So what I'm doing here, I'm just adding here my data attribute, and in this data attribute, I'm adding this error message. Please accept the terms. That's it. So these are code need to complete in your class to implement the client side validation. And this code I'm sharing with you so that you can copy and use it here.
Here add validation is a inbuilt method or it is available in iClient model validator?
It's not a built-in, it's available in iClient model validate interface. Because interface I'm implementing here. Okay, so still my validation of the checkbox will not work out. I need to do one more change and open here this jQuery validation unobtrusive library. If you're looking inside this library, we having a validation for the checkbox. This is my checkbox. And here you having this one, let's say adapters.add, and they having 4 required. I'm just going to copy this adapter. And now let me complete here this section. So where we having this, I'm adding here a script tag. Now let me add my adapter for the checkbox. If you don't want to put the validation of contact number, you can remove that attribute. Even I applied only the validation when someone will enter the value. By default, there is no error message. So jQuery dot validator, then we having there unobtrusive, then adapters dot add. Now what is my adapter name? This is my adapter name validate checkbox. And this is for valid for making the checkbox as required. So I'm putting here element equal to import and it should be equal to checkbox. Then we having a set validation values. Now let me check out this one at top level. So this is a logic we having here. So everything I'm just going to copy from the library and changing it as per my requirement. Rules name required, values are true, message is same, perfect. I don't need to read it now. So what I did here, I just created my own custom adapters as Microsoft created their own adapters to validate the things for required, for compare. They just write this library. Similarly, I just added my adapters so that it start working with this checkbox. Now, if you want to check it out, now just copy this script tag, even the complete section I'm sharing with you. Just replace your complete section with this new code, which I'm sharing with you. Now run the application to start working on the client side. On the client side, it should start working now. So check out whether the checkbox is working or not. So I'm sure this time the validation for the checkbox should work. So this is my UI. Coming here, do click, and you can see it is working fine. So my checkbox validation also working fine. Contact number will work only when you will change the value, otherwise it will not work. So now all the validation we have applied here, client side as well as server side, I'm adding, let's say Mohan. Password I can mention 1234, 1234. Contact number, make sure as per the correct mobile number you having. Accept the terms here and make sure, okay, we have in the breakpoint already. Click on the sign up button and you can see model state is now valid. Do continue. It is showing to the welcome page. So it is working fine without any issue now. So please check your validation page and make sure and verify everything is working fine here.
Hello.
Tell me.
Will it work for checkbox list radio button list also?
For radio button, it will not work. We need to write somehow the different one.
Okay.
It is only for the checkbox one.
Single checkbox or checkbox list also.
Hmm.
Okay.
the complete sign up page. I don't think it will go in one. I'm sharing in 3 parts the sign up page completely. Display name. Okay. Okay, till this point, it's sending the things. So there are multiple sections where I shared the complete code. So I think in 3 and 4 parts I shared it. And guys, are you watching the video as well, which we are uploading? How many people get the time to look at the videos?
No, actually, I didn't get access. From the day before yesterday, I have email to support at .NET but I didn't get any access. Also, I have yesterday I have sent another mail.
Have you checked it? You don't have the access.
Yes, I have checked. With screenshot I have mailed yesterday. I can share my screen to show you.
Show me.
Yes. Yes, this is.
Madam, you having the access. If I click on the session videos, how can, until you cannot click the video, how can you go proceed further? Click on this button, session videos.
Okay, but I have seen some different screenshot in your when you were showing that. When you clicked on, okay, sorry, I got it now, but I thought in here I have to go, then here some sections were displaying.
On the same page you're coming, so until you will not proceed further, how can access the video?
Okay, okay, so sorry.
Shailendra, you have any? You have only recordings of whatever you are training us here, but you have any PPT? So whatever you are showing that PPT, can I see that?
Same PPT also we uploaded in the PDF format. Have you checked out? There is a one in the first day video. There is a link for
The first it is there one.
So that is not the first one. That is for complete course.
Oh, that is a complete. Okay, okay. Thanks.
So just unzip that one. You will find out all the device content over there.
Okay, okay.
Tirupati, can you share your screen? Can you copy the namespace, the class name properly? Can you open the class name again? So class name is validate checkbox where C is capital, B is capital. Oh, multi click करूँगा. Anything else? पानी भी साफ करो.
अभी बच्चे बन गई क्या आंटी ने पानी पानी कर दिया था ना धीरे से इधर है बात धीरे धीरे लाना ये रखी बाल्टी इतना मोटा
अगर चल जब रहा है क्लास चल रही है हमारी. Okay, so let's proceed here to the next topic. So validation part we have done, and I hope you have now understanding how we can apply the client side and server side validation and even create the custom validation as well. So now the thing is, the next topic is about data passing techniques. Priti Barnagi, can you share your screen as well? So what email ID you are using? No, do share your email ID right now. What is the email ID you are having? Can you check now, please? Okay, so when it is coming to the data passing techniques, like how we can pass the data across the application in our ASP.NET Core. So we having here view data, view back, temp data, session, query string, and cookies. So these various options are available. Using these, we can pass the data from one page to another page, even across the application. So when it is coming to the view data, so view data is a dictionary object that is stored the values as a key value pair. So as we having the dictionary of in the C# that is store the thing key value pair, similar way view data store the things. It is used to pass data from controller to view. Even you can say on the same page, whenever there is a requirement to pass data, we use view data. So view data is similar to view back, but it never gets stored on the page label, because view state always gets stored at the page label, but it does not. So this is the way we having here view data that is similar to the view back we have, but it is not like that way where view, the view state always store on the client side, but it does not. It always behave like a simple variable. So as soon as page will load into the browser, it will not available to access. The second option we having here view back. So view back is a dynamic property which wraps the view data. You can see this is my view back. It is wrapping the view data simply. The difference between view data and view back you will find out In the view bag, you don't need to do typecasting for retrieving the data from the C#, but in view data, you need to do typecasting. And similar to the view data, the view bag you cannot use for passing the values from one page to another page. So view bag is a dynamic property which wraps the view data, and similar to view data, view bag also used to pass the values on the same page. And internally they use view data object. So whatever you are storing in view data, I can access using view bag, and whatever I'm storing using view bag, so I can access using view data this way. So it means whatever we have stored using view data, I can access using view bag. Even whatever you have stored using view bag, I can access using view data. The reason is here the underlying dictionary object is same for storing the value. The third option we having a temp data. So sometimes it happens you need a temporary session for passing the values from one page to another page. And this value I'm not willing to access across the application. I'm going to access only at the target page. So there we use temp data. So temp data is similar to the temporary session. Until ASP.NET Core 1.x, it used the session. But starting from ASP.NET Core 2.0, now the temp data is going to store inside the cookie. And as soon as you will read the value from the temp data, you will not able to use it again. So the thing is, whatever the value we send from one page to another page, and as soon as we read the value from the temp data at another page, after that, its value will be collected by GC. Means it will become none because the GC collect the value of the temp data. And if you want to remember which one to use in which case, so this is the picture, you can remember which one to use in which case. So let's say if you're passing the data from controller to view, you can use here view data and view bag. And if you're, let's say you're passing the data from view to controller, you can either post the data, either you can use query string, or either you can use hidden field. This is the option available from view to controller. And whenever you are passing from one controller to another controller, so you can use temp data over there for passing the data from one controller to another controller. Even sometimes it happens you might be passing the data inside the same controller. Like inside the same controller action, we are moving. So that time also you should use temp data. Okay. Sometimes it happens you might passing the data from a child view to the parent view. In that case, also you can use view data and view bag whenever you're passing the data from child view to the parent view. And here, if you have created the session and cookie, so session or cookie value we can access across the application. So using the request object or using the HTTP context, I can access my session and cookies values. So I hope this picture will help you to understand which one to use in which case. So these are the various use cases where the temp data is helpful. Like temp data is going to be used here simply.
So what happens from one controller to the second controller? What happens if I transfer, if I move from the second to the third controller? The temp data will remain or it will be removed?
Temp data will remain over there if you didn't read the value on the second controller.
Sorry?
If you didn't read the value on second controller, so on third controller, temp data will be available. Even in temp data, we having two methods, peek and keep. If you want to access the value after reading at second controller, you want to access on third controller as well. So in that case, you can use temp data peek and keep method to persist the value which you have stored in temp data. Even I will show this example, don't worry, how the temp data peek and keep method we can use for persisting the value so that we can read them multiple times, or you can say again and again. So anything else? Okay. We having the session, so session is similar to the session we have in the web form MVC-5, which is going to use to pass the information across the application. It is commonly used for passing the logged in user detail across the application. Even it's also need typecasting if you're going to retrieve the data from it. And next we having a query string. So query string used to pass data within the application using the parameters in the URL. So in the URL, we can pass some parameters so that the data we can pass. But it is not recommended to pass the sensitive information. So if let's say you're having password, you're having the credit card detail, so such information is not recommended to pass as a query string. But if let's say you're having a page number, sorting column, sorting direction, or you having a, let's say search term, search text. So such information commonly we pass as a query string. Even if you are looking at the Google, and the Google, what are the search query you are making, that search query, the Google take as a query string. Isn't it? The last one we having a cookie. So cookie is used to save the data at client side. And we having here two types of cookie, persistent cookie and non-persistent cookie. So persistent cookie data is going to be stored as a text file at the cloud computer. And the non-persistent cookie data is going to store in the client browser. As soon as the browser you will close, you will not able to read the data from the non-persistent cookie. But from the persistent cookie, you will be able to read the data after closing the browser and reopening it again. So the persistent cookie having expiry date, but non-persistent cookie does not have any expiry date. Is it clear how it is working? Okay, so to understand the sample here, let's open the same thing which we have in. So open your last sample which we have done right now. And the last sample, what I'm doing, you can see we having here home controller. Open the home controller, and in the index one, I'm just using here, let's say view data. In the view data, let's say I'm passing here the company. I'm passing their company, let's say CSM. This way I'm passing the company name. Then I'm using here view back the name as a name. Let's say I'm using here. So these two values, let's say we are going to access on the UI page. So the UI page, these two values we will access. So let's say how we can access these values on the UI page. Code I'm sharing through the chat. If willing to be used, you can use from there. So here I'm just going to access the value from the view data. It will be here at the rate view data. Then we having here, let's say company. This is my company view data. Then we have in here view back, then at the rate view back, then we have in here neighbor. This one. So using the view back, I can access the name. Using the view data, I can access the company simply. Even whatever I have stored as a view data, I can access it using the view back. So I can access my company as a view back also at the rate view back dot company. Similar way, I can access the name as a view data and the rate view data. This is accessible because the underlying container to do for view data and view by the same. So don't think if you have stored as a view data, you can use only view data only. You can use view back there also. And guys, if you will see here, I'm not doing any typecasting here. But in the theory, I explained to you, whenever you're going to access the data, you need to do typecasting. Got it? But here, why we are not doing the typecasting? Tell me.
Because it is used to only display the data, only printing the data, not any manipulation.
No, this is not the right answer.
For string type, it is not required to typecast.
Can you say again?
For string type of value, if you want to store, it is not required to do typecast.
Any other understanding? If you're looking at here, I'm accessing the view data value inside my HTML tag. And in the PPT, it is retaining the C#. Because C# having the data type. HTML does not have the data type. So for HTML, everything is text. It does not mean whether it's a number, a string. HTML is considering as a text. So that's why we are not doing here any typecasting. But whenever you are writing the same thing in the C#, let's say name as a view data name. So here I need to do typecasting because it is inside C#. Then we have in here company, view back company. This way I'm using the company. And here it is giving me the error. You can see cannot convert an object type to string. So I need to convert this one into a string. This one. And this one is not required because this is a dynamic type, but this one is required because it is a object type. So object type we cannot store into a string. We need to do the typecasting. Even these two variables now we can access over here. I can access my name. I can access my company. This way we can access it. So this is the way how you can access the data from view back and view data. And further manipulation now can be done on these string variables. It's simple. Now run the code and check out how it is working. Code I shared through the chat. From there you can see.
Sandra, please open the home controller, please.
And you can see I'm getting here view data, I'm getting here view back. And the code if I'm looking for, this is the code I write here. So how many people are getting the same output? Can you confirm through the chat? Okay. So we have done with the view data and view back. Now we will start with dump data, session, and cookie. But before that, let me complete here the query string one. So for query string, just do one thing. I'm adding here a link. Let's say I'm adding here a link.
Okay, when I run, there is some error. An unhandled exception occur while processing the request. Runtime binder exception cannot apply indexing with cache.
Can you share your screen? So the reason is here. First of all, view back is not having this syntax as you're writing. It's a view data syntax. Check your syntax. Your syntax is wrong. View back dot company. No, there is no there is no parenthesis. View back dot company, just like an object. Use it like an object. View back dot company.
How to write?
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
How write it? Okay. So now let's go ahead with the query string. So for query string, what I'm doing, I'm just defining the ASP the section. Let's say it is data. ASP does controller. That's a home. And I'm using here ASP does root. And whatever the data you're going to send as a query string, let's say as a root parameter, I can mention over there ASP root ID. Let's say I'm passing here. ASP does root, that name I'm passing here. ASP does root, I'm passing here address. So anything which you're going to pass as a parameter after ASP root, you can pass it. So we don't have this is the predefined or this is not predefined. This mine. ASP root is predefined. After that, dash ID, dash name, dash address. These are your own parameter. And I'm putting here go to. So let's add this div and we will receive these values in the data action. Code I shared through the chat. Now open the home controller and define here data action. I'm defining my data action here, then receiving the value. I'm receiving the value integer ID. I'm receiving the name here. I'm receiving the which one? Address here. I'm receiving the address here simply. So a string address. This is the one way for receiving the value as action label receiving parameter. We having another way as well. Let's say if you want to receive as a using the request object, using request object, I can also request. So request dot query. As a query, I can also receive it. Let's say name I can receive. This is the request object. In ASP.NET Wrap form, we have in the query string request.query string. But here we don't have the request.query string. We have in the request.query. But if you will see here for ID, I'm not writing here request.query. The reason is here in the startup class, we already having ID as a root parameter. So it always pass ID as a root parameter. So ID I will not get in the query string. So that's why I didn't write the query for ID. I only write the query for name and address. Now let's add a view for data. So first add this section. After adding this section, let's add a view. I'm adding a view for data. This is the way we added the view for data here. That's it is only for, we will not get any exception when we will run it. So make sure we have added this data action in our home controller and you have added the view also. Now run the application to check out how data we are passing as a query string now. So this is my home. Click on go to link. It's coming here. ID is coming, name is coming, address is coming. If you will debug it further, by mistake I added something wrong. It is debugging, name is coming Mohan, address coming out. This is the way I'm able to retrieve the value as a query string. And in the URL also you can find out we are doing the same thing. So you can see here it is passing the ID as a root parameter. So this is my ID as a root parameter it's passing, you can see. 2. Name it is passing as a question mark, name, and address it is passing as %. This is the way how it is working. This is my ID, this is my name, this is my address, how it is working. Got it? So do you have any query regarding this query string way? Or do you have any query? So please verify the changes and do let me know.
Here I have some issue. Can I share my screen? Share full screen. Can you see the output? Or this is the issue?
No, it's not the issue. You have not added the view here. Data you are able to pass clearly. Just do right click at a view. For data it will work fine. There is no issue.
Yes. Great.
So issue is here. You have not added the
View.
view.
I think it will work.
Okay, let's get started with the next thing is about how we can use temp data. So for using the temp data, we're looking at, we already having this account controller where we checking the state, and here I can write the code to read the data from the temp data over there. So what I'm doing here, before the redirection, I can pass some data, temp data as a name. So I'm passing, let's say, model dot name. I'm passing here something as a cookie. So I can use here, let's say, cookie. In temp data, let's say I'm passing the two things, name and message. As a message, let's say I'm passing here, welcome back. There's a message I'm having here, welcome back. Then I can create here the cookie. So I'm just using here the cookie. So cookie we add to the response object, response dot cookies dot append. Then we use a cookie key. So as a key, let's say I'm using here non persistent cookie. I'm having the cookie value. So my non persistent cookie I'm using here. Similarly, I'm having here to persistent. This is my persistent cookie. And persistent cookie to define here the cookie option as well. So define here the cookie option. So we have in the cookie option. In the cookie option, let me define. You can define separately as well. Let's say I'm going to define here before. So I can define here, let's say options equal to new, and this is my namespace, which need to add at the top label for cookie option. And the cookie option can define here the expiry date. So the expiry date would be here date time dot now dot add days for 7. So for 7 days I'm adding it simply. Now add here options simply. So this is the way we added here non-persistent cookie, which is not having any expiry date, persistent cookie that is having expiry date. Now let's see how we can access these values. So at the home controller index section, we can access the value, but do one thing. In the same account controller, I'm adding the index section. So now these values I will access in my index controller available inside the account. So now let me first access the temp data value. I'm accessing here, it says string name. I'm accessing my temp data this way. And here also I need to do typecasting. Let me typecast it. And we having the message. Message. So as I said, when you read the data from temp data, it is not available to read again. So we can read the data from temp data only one time. If you're willing to read data from temp data again and again, so need to persist its value. So for persisting the value, don't read it in normal way. Use here peak method. This is my peak method I'm using here, which is persisting the value for the temp data. It means the peak method is now not allowed to read the value from the temp data now by the GC. Because what happens when you are using this style, and this style, this key will mark as dirty. This key mark as dirty, so GC will collect those variable which reference mark as dirty. But in this case, it will not mark as dirty. This is simple variable value I'm reading, but I'm not marking as dirty. So that's why it is working fine now, because I'm not marking a dirty here. I can read it over here. So now I'm reading the value for name, I'm reading the value for message, but this name I can access again and again, but message I cannot. Because message I'm reading one time. So second time,
can you
if I
repeat
try to
again
read,
that you have
you will get the null value.
Hello, Shailendra. Can you repeat again that you have told?
I said here in C#, we having the garbage collector. So garbage collector having the generation. Okay. So what happens when it is coming to the GC? So what are the object you make as dirty? Or you can say what are the object marked as dirty by the program? So GC collect those dirty object references and start claiming the memory. But in this case, when you're using the peak, this key never mark as dirty. So it not goes to the GC for collecting the memory. But here this message will be marked as dirty, so it will go to the GC for collecting the memory. So that's why next time, if you will reload the same page, if I will reload the page again, I will not able to read the value from message because it's already collected by the GC, but name I can access because it's a simple variable. It's not marked as dirty. Got it?
Yes.
So what is the difference between peak and this normal way?
Yes.
Now similarly, I can read here my cookie value. So let me read a string non-persistent. I'm just using here request dot cookies. Then I'm having the cookie value. So it is my non-persistent. This way I'm having the non-persistent. Now let me access for persistent as well. This is my persistent one. Persist. So this is my persistent and non-persistent. And for index, let me add the view as well. For account index, I'm adding the view also. So using the scaffolding to generating the code. So now let me share this code which I have written in my sign up page. This is my sign up, this is my index. And make sure at the top level you added the namespace as well. So I added sign up, this is the index, and at top level this is a namespace method. That's it. And after completing, do let me know.
Which namespace you have used?
Once again.
Which namespace you have used?
Namespace name I already shared to the chat.
Okay.
Can I ask you one doubt? Actually, in a home controller, when you will declare the view data and store the value as a CSM and viewback.name as Mohan. When we call that value in the view, okay, we have not declared as a view data as a name. Then how the value is fetched due to the if you will declare any value as a view back, then automatically we can call it as from the view data as a collection.
Have you gone through the definition where I told you?
Yes.
View bag is a wrapper around view data. And internally, view data and view bag both storing the data inside the same collection. Got it? So you can think about view bag and view data. View bag is it just alias for the view data for accessing the value. So that's why view data things I can access view bag, and view bag things I can access in view data.
Thank you.
So he will run the code and check out how it is working. Okay, for system, I removed it. Run the code now. I'm putting a breakpoint. So I'm just putting here the name as, let's say, Mohan, username mohan@gmail.com, password 12345, contact number I'm putting here 21. Oh, terms conditions sign over there. And here if it is coming, this is my valid, and I'm setting the temp data. Okay. Session we have not used, we will use it, don't worry. Cookie I'm setting here. Now it is coming to this index 1, but I didn't put the breakpoint here. Let me reload the page again. So temp data peak value I'm getting here Mohan, but message I'm not getting because message value we read one line here, so we cannot edit it. Not persistent cookie value I'm getting here, persistent cookie value I'm getting here. So everything's working fine here. And if you're looking at the cookie value is stored here in the browser. So you can see this is my non-persistent cookie, and expiry, if you will check the expiry, it is session 1. This is my expiry session for non-persistent cookie. If you will see here, we having the persistent cookie, and persistent cookie having the expiry of 7 days. So today we having here 29th of July, and it is here 5th August. This is for 7 days. This is the way we having the persistent cookie, and we having the non-persistent cookie. Are you getting the same behavior for this one? So guys, are you getting the same behavior? Should we go ahead now?
Shalendra, we have given 7 days for that persistent cookie. So here, here we can see, right, expiry of the session, that cookie.
You can see this is expiry here 5th August.
Okay, yeah, 7 days.
Okay, now we have not used this so far session. So for using the session, just do one thing. Open the startup class, and just enable the session. So session we cannot use directly. Session we need to enable services, dot add session. This one, I think the session here. So please enable the session first, then we can use the session over there. So app dot use session. So these two lines we added here for session. So make sure you added this one services dot add session and app dot use session. Please add these two statements and do let me know when you will complete. After that, we will use the session now. Temp data is not same as to the view state. Because view state always store on the page. Temp data is stored in a cookie. Not at the page level. So after doing this one, let me use session for storing the value. I'm using a session. And for using the session, we can need to use HTTP context, then session. Section here we use actually with different style. It's not similar to as we have in MVC in the web form. Session, and then we having a method set a string. As a set a string, I'm using the method, let's say name and data. So we cannot use the session as we use in the web form. Here it is slightly different. Even we cannot pass the object directly to the session. If you're willing to pass the object to the session, I need to convert that object into the string first. So you can use a JSON serializer to convert my object into the JSON string. So JSON serializer namespace I added. Then let me serialize my object, which I'm receiving at the top level in this way. And finally, I can pass it. I can pass it here as the user, then str data. In this one, passing here str data. So syntax wise, it is different. This is the way how the session value can set here. So at the session level, we having only three methods: set a string, set integer, and set only. Similarly, we have in the get string, get integer, and get only. So now here I can get the data from the session using the HTTP context session get a string. I'm getting here in the string. This is name and user. Name for user I will get as here as a string again. This is my user. Then I can use the object here. As an object, I can use a user model. A user model object and using a JSON serializer, then we serialize the things like this one. And no mention here type as well. As a type, I'm using the user model. So this is the way I can use here this deserialization part as well. Code I'm sharing with the chat from there, it's working. So I'm putting here breakpoint here also and see how the session we are able to use for sending the data. So I'm just putting here the name, password 1234, 1234, contact number, terms, sign up. It's coming here. Session we are setting. Session now we are reading here. Name is coming. The user is coming as a JSON string. This is the way we just do the deserialization and it's coming here. So everything is working fine here perfectly without any issue. So this is the way how it is working. So do you have any query regarding this one? And guys, please do let me know if you have completed this one. Are you getting the same behavior as I'm getting here? Smriti Ranjan, have you completed this one? Smriti Ranjan, are you there? Can you confirm from your end as well? Okay, so this is the way we have completed this topic as well now. See why you need to configure the session first, then you can use it. Otherwise, you cannot. So make sure in the startup class, you added this line, add session and new session. Have you added this one? So guys, shall we go ahead now to the next topic? So we have completed data passing techniques. We have completed the validation as well. So it's coming to the next topic. Startup code. It's simple. If you will type services, then add session, you will get it. It's not difficult. I shared the code in chat, but make sure one is available in configure services, another in the configure method. Okay, let's get started here. So I'm just closing this solution. And now let's talk about the entity framework core. How many people here know the link? Are you aware of the link? Now that's good if you know about the link. So when it is coming to here, the entity framework core. So entity framework core is an ORM framework which is helping us to query the database in object-oriented fashion. So what the ORM tool, it's ORM framework do, they actually map the database tables with a C# object. And now instead of querying the tables directly, we query the object. And when you query the object, so behind the scene, they query the tables. It helps us to query the database in object-oriented fashion. And it is used by the many programming languages like C#, Java, PHP, etc. So ORM framework you will find out everywhere. It's not about only, it is going to be used by the C#. Everywhere the people are using the ORM tool. It provides the type safety at the compile time as well. If you're using some ORM, so they provide the type safety at compile time. Simply. ORM stands for Object Relationship Mapping. Object here is C# object. Relation is here your database table. And mapping, like how we mapping the object with the relation, that is ORM. So when it is coming to the entity framework core is a new lightweight and extensible version of entity framework. So we already having the entity framework 6.x that we use with ASP.NET and MVC-5 to query the database in object-oriented fashion. So same style the entity framework core follow, but it is better than the entity framework in terms of performance, and even it is cross-platform as well. So they built the entity framework core also from scratch so that it will work in the cross-platform environment. It is also open source. The source code is available on GitHub. From there you can access it. If you're looking at the entity framework core version stick, is the version stick we have in there. So first version came in 2016, then we having 2.2 in 2017, then we having here 2.2 in 2018, 3.x in 2019, and 5.2 in 2020. And entity framework core 6.2 is on the way. That is going to be released this year in the month of November itself. So they will get entity framework core 6. And if you're looking at here, these are the places where entity framework core can be used. Like with .NET Core based application, it can be used. With Cosmos DB, SQLite, Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, it can be used. DB2, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, it can be used. So these are the places where the entity framework core can be used. So we having the Cosmos DB, we having the SQLite. These are the NoSQL database we can use. And we having the RDBMS like Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, DB2, PostgreSQL, MariaDB. So these are the RDBMS where it can be used. And these are the things which entity framework core does not support. It does not support the EDMX, or you can say the XML based modeling. It does not support the automatic migration. It does not support the entity SQL. Even these things are not required. But these things are the supported in the entity framework 6.x. But here these are not required. Simply. So when it is coming to the entity framework core data modeling, here we define the things in the C# class label. This is the way at the class label we can define the things here. So you can see we defining here the table as a C# class employee, and at the class label we are using the table attribute At the property label, we are using the primary key, using the key attribute. Then we having here required, we having the column. So we having the various things. So let's say required, column, key, table. So instead of defining your create table statement, we are defining like this way. An entity framework migration can help us to generate the table for us. So we can generate the table here easily using the entity framework core migration based upon the entities we have defined here. So benefit of entity framework core is it provides us the full control over the code. So do you have any query so far regarding the entity framework core? Shall we go ahead? Shall we go ahead now? Okay. So just do one thing here, open your Visual Studio here and create a new project. So I'm just going to create here a new project this time. So just create a new project. And this time what I'm doing, I'm just looking for a blank solution. This is my blank solution which I'm looking for. Are you getting the blank solution at your machine level also? Can you confirm, are you getting the blank solution? Okay, now let's select this one and create it. Now I'm defining my solution name. Let's say as a solution name, it is EF core. Yeah. This is my solution name, EF core app. So I'm using here the EF core app to work with it. This is the way the solution has been created. As it created in your case also, EF core solution have you created? Can you confirm from your end? Everyone, please. Okay. So just do right click at the solution, and here I'm adding a new project. So I'm just going to add here as a new project. Let me add as a new project. I'm just going to add here class library. So class library is a new project. I'm just going to add it. So this is my class library. I'm selecting now. So make sure you have did the right click at the solution explorer solution, then look for class lib, and you will get this class library option. Are you getting it? If someone is lacking, please do let me know.
Blank solution is not coming here.
The blank solution is coming, don't worry, just create class library project directly. Any other query do we have here? Okay, so I'm just using a class library. Define the class library name as Dell. .NET 5. And now let's proceed. So this is the way we added here class library. We added everything over there here without an issue. Have you added the class library now? Okay. So what we are going to do here, we are just going to create two tables here. We will create here the category table. We are going to create here the product table. So we'll define over there the category class like this way. Here we will have the category ID, name, and we have a product class where we will have the product ID, name, unit price, category ID. So what happens, the entity framework code follow here some built-in built-in convention. So what are these built-in convention? So those built-in convention is about naming convention. So whatever the properties name we have in the same name, it will create the column name in the table. We have in the type convention. What are the data type we have in here for each property? So equivalent data type in the SQL Server is going to be used for that property column. So here the category ID will map as integer type. And here we have in here, there is a rule also for the primary key convention that I will tell you in the next one. Name is going to map as a varchar max. This is a decimal as a decimal and varchar, and this is the integer. So these default type convention is following. Then we have here primary key convention. As per the primary key convention, if your class having a property with the class name suffix ID, this is class name suffix ID, or only ID. So that property automatically act as a primary key, or you can say the property map to a primary key column. So that's why here in category class, category ID is primary key, and here in product class, product ID is primary key, because it is containing class name suffix ID. So for primary key, convention is your class should have a property with ID name or class name suffix ID. If it is so, that start working as a primary key by default. Then we have here relationship convention, like how to define the foreign key, like relationship between the category and product, because the category table would be the parent table and the product would be the child table. So here navigation we are not defining as a inheritance here. We defining the things as a navigation property. So just add this category class property here inside my product class. Okay, and as soon as you will add this navigation property, and make sure this navigation property you're adding in the child table class. So what would be the child table in database? Product would be the child table. So here, this is my navigation property. And as per the navigation property, if this product class containing a property with the name which is matching with the primary key of this category class. Begin the category, we having the primary key, category ID, and data type is integer. And if the product class also having the same property name with data type, it automatically map as a foreign key. So here also we having the category ID integer, and because of this navigation property like relationship convention, this category ID is going to be foreign key over there. So these are the built-in convention in Entity Framework Core for defining the data type for each property, for defining the relationship. And when it is coming to the naming convention for table, so whenever we will use this category inside my database context class, so what are the properties name I will define based upon that we will create the table name over there. So do you have any query regarding these built-in convention in Entity Framework Core?
Here it is mentioned in the category class, that is optional navigation property. So it's optional, means
Optional means to define the relationship between category and product. This one is mandatory. This one is only you can define whenever you having a way to access that a particular category all products. So here using this navigation property, I can access that particular category all products. Even this thing can be done using the join query as well. So that's it is this navigation property is optional, but this is mandatory to define the relationship between category and product. So at the parent table class label it is optional, but at the child table class label it is mandatory. Guys, I'm not using a child class and parent class. I'm using a child table class, parent table class. So parent table class is category and child table class is product. Am I right?
yes.
Remember it. So here the child table class is product here, parent table class is category. So make sure at the child table class, we have defined the navigation property. Here it's optional. Is it fine?
Yes.
So guys, sometimes it happens, we are willing to override, or you can say override these default, or you can say built-in naming convention. Do we have option? Now we having option. So we having a data annotation approach and we having a fluent API approach. So using the attribute explicitly at property label, I can override the default or you can say built-in naming convention. I can make the node null. I can make the column as varchar because by default Entity Framework Code support the Unicode characters. So as per the Unicode characters, the data type should be an varchar, not the varchar, isn't it? So that you can store the characters of Japanese, Hindi, and Chinese language. English we can store as a varchar, but Hindi we cannot. So this is the way how we define using the data notation. The another style is here use methods. So we having here for defining everything is method. For primary key, we having hash key method. For defining the property things, we having a property method. Then we having a is required for node null, is Unicode. If you are willing to make it varchar, so just make it is Unicode false. And we having a hash max length. Define the max length, let's say varchar 200. So one of the option you can use here, either you can use data notation that use fluent API. So let's see how we can define these two classes in our code and how we can complete it. Got it?
Can we add one non-primary key table within this?
In entity framework 6.x you cannot, but here you can.
I'm not getting.
In the previous version of entity framework, you cannot add a table without primary key. But here in entity framework code, they allow.
Okay.
But entity framework code recommend to define a table with primary key, not without primary.
Okay.
So open here your del layer, and I'm just adding here a class for my category. And for category, I'm adding a property, let's say category ID. I'm adding here, let's say string name, string name. I'm adding here a class for product. I'm adding a class for product. Let me make it public. I'm adding here a property, product ID. I'm adding here a string name. I'm adding here a string description. I'm adding here property for category ID. I'm adding here a property where I can use the category and category. So this will be added here category class, and we added here the product class. So this is the category code I added, product ID, name, description, category ID, and category ID as a navigation property. So these two classes we added now in our del layer. Good. So have we completed? Should we go ahead now? Okay, so just do one thing here for using the entity framework core. Make sure we have installed the necessary NuGet packages. So there is option here, manage NuGet packages. So just go to the dependencies of the project, and then you will get the option here, manage NuGet packages. This is option available here, manage NuGet packages.
Yes, available.
Now here just go to the browse option. In the browse, just make a search for entity framework core. I'm just making search here for entity framework core. There's a package is coming over there. Entity framework core. Install it.
Which version will be installed? Anyone?
Yeah, 5.0.2 need to install it. And apart from the entity framework core, we need to install here SQL Server as well. Because we are using the SQL Server as a database, as a RDBMS. So this is my SQL Server here. Then third package is here for tools.
Entity format is showing error. The 5.0.8 is not compatible with .NET Standard 2.0.
So make sure that layer you have added as a .NET Core, not as a .NET Standard.
Okay.
So make sure target framework is .NET 5, not the .NET Standard.
Microsoft SQL Server core.sql.
The three packages here, entity framework, core, SQL Server, and tools. Let me highlight them. So this is the first package. This is my second and third package. Is it fine? These three packages you need to install. Please install and do let me know. So I shall go ahead now. Okay, after installing these two packages, now just do one thing. Entity framework core will not create the tables for all classes which you added over there.
Which one? The third one?
Third one is a tools.
Tools.
If you're looking for the package one place, this is the third package one. Can we go ahead?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm doing here now, let's add here a class, database context class. This is the way I'm adding here a database context class. Class name can be anything, it's your choice what name you are giving of the class. And this class must inherit from the DB context. So DB context is a base class in entity framework core. I'm using that one. I added the missing namespace as well. And now whatever the classes you will add here, only for those classes the entity framework core will create the table. So what I'm doing here, I'm just adding here a DB set for my category. And I'm defining my property name as categories. Similar way, I'm having for product also, product and products. So we added category, we added products only for these two classes. It will add table into the database. So make sure everyone has defined these.
Can you tell how you created a database context class?
Just right click at a simple class.
It will be created manually.
As we added categories, same way.
Okay.
Full simple class. Add simple class.
I have installed this three .NET Core and SQL and tool, but in the packages are not showing in the project.cs file that you shown here.
Packages will come here when it is coming to the project label, project file.
Yes, that is
Double
not
click
coming.
over here.
I did that, but this item group section is not coming from my code.
Make sure you have get the message successfully installed. Have you received the message?
Please select to all. The right side drop down. That is Microsoft is there. Please select to all. There it will showing.
Which one?
Where the package is installed. Right side corner. Where the drop down is there, the all. Select all. The all option is there.
Okay, let me check.
You want to see over here, this one. You can see. So guys, make sure everyone has added this one.
Okay, let me try again.
Do we have any other issue with the other person? Guys, can you confirm everyone has created this class as well as added these two properties, one for category and another one for product? Can you confirm through the chat window? So guys, here now what we need to do here, we need to define here the database connections thing as well. Okay. So let me define here the database connections thing. I'm using here override on configuring. In on configuring, I'm just adding select options builder. Then we need to check here is configured. I'm checking here whether we have defined the connections thing or not. If we have not defined the connections thing, then we need to define it explicitly. So option builder dot use SQL server, then define the connections thing over there. So here I will define the connections thing as per my system. So I'm already having a connection string as per my system. So let me copy. This is my connection string. I'm putting here. And define your database name. Let's database name is here EF4 CSM. This is my database name. I'm defining here. So we define here connection string as well, and this is my del layer complete code I'm sharing with you.
Hello.
Hmm.
I installed tool, but rest of two I'm going for same process, but it is not installing. It shows that finished, but in package it is not there. And do I need to select any version or anything?
Can you share your screen?
Yes. Is it visible now?
Why you have checked this include pre-release? Uncheck this one. Because you are installing Entity Framework 6 version, not the 5.
This one.
And you are getting this issue because you have checked this include pre-release. Can you uncheck this checkbox?
No, I haven't. It is default came.
So now you will not get any pre-release package. You will get only stable package. So don't check this one when you're working on real project. Always use stable packages.
Okay. So I think it will work. Coming something new.
Indusari, please check there in the all. There is newgate.org is there not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Click there. Newgate.org is there.
This one.
Yeah. Select and search it. Let's check.
Select and search.
Yeah, that you have already searched and you search there left side where the core is there. My entity framework core. You
Yes,
go
I
down, go down,
have
go down.
installed.
No.
This one done, no?
This one done. The another tool is there, no? Two tool is.
Yes, I'm just checking it. It's just for confirmation it is working or not.
You check there. Drop down.
It is
Go
working
on
now.
the-
It is there is a
SQL.
when you're getting the green checkbox, it is succeeded.
Not SQL, not SQL. That entity framework is search as entity framework. That same entity framework. The same one. Core. Go down. Go down. Go down. You check. That.
Which one?
I think this one is got. Is there na SQL? Last one. Check one by one. Yeah, SQL. I
This
think
one.
SQL is there. Core is there. Then
You're asking for
SQL server is there na?
core,
SQL
no?
server. Yeah,
SQL.
yes, that one.
Yes.
You install it.
Yes, I was also looking for this. Yes, it will work now. So we may proceed. Thank you.
What about this, guys? Is it working fine?
Are you asking to me?
I'm asking for everyone. Have you completed?
No, my installation for SQL is going on. After then I will add this.
Guys, can you confirm from your end? Have we completed the things? Asmardiranjan, what about you? Shubhra?
I'm getting some error here. Can I share my screen?
sir, I have completed.
Okay.
This one.
Devi Prasad.
Hello.
Yes, completed.
Make sure you added the namespace for this category and product. Have you added namespace? Can you check your category class namespace? It is done.
Yes. Yes.
Guys, everyone, can you confirm from your end? I need that everyone confirmation because it's a very important topic we started. Because now
Yes, I'm
whatever
done.
the things we have done without database, we are not able to do the next session. So make sure everyone is able to create it. Please do confirm. That's why I'm asking your name.
This one also showing error.
Check for it's check. Your product class is not public. That's why it is saying that. Make it public. Guys, everyone can confirm from your end. Should I call the name again? Manakshi.
Completed.
I think everyone has completed. I'm right.
Yes.
Pranagya, what issue you are having? Can you share your screen? The reason is here in the package source, you have selected the Microsoft widgets to the offline packages. Just change this drop down list. In the right hand side, package source, just go to the gear icon. Click on this icon, gear icon. Click on this one. And here, don't check this. You need to add here. Just uncheck this one. Can you go to the general one? What it is saying? No, just don't scroll down. Go to the same one. And I think, okay, you need to add a package source. Let me share the link on the package source. Just click on the gear icon again. And just click on the green icon plus. On the right hand side, there is a green plus icon. Click over there. No, in the right hand side, in the same window, don't go anywhere. Just click package source. There is a plus icon. Click over there. You are getting here package source. Here, just change the source. Here, I'm sharing the source value. Just change the source name to the newget.org. Newget.org. And UGET. Just look at the chat I mentioned over there. And source, just mention this URL. In the chat window, I mentioned the URL as well. So in the source, just mention the URL. In the name, just mention this name. Okay. And then you will find out the packages. Can you share your screen again? Anyone else left? It's not the Ranjan. I didn't get any reply from your end. Can you confirm? Yeah, now just okay. Just click on the okay. Okay, now getting it. Then okay. Can you check your library version number as well? I think you have selected different library. It is not class library, it's a UWP library, Universal Windows. So you have added wrong library into your project. It should be only class library. You can see you are getting Universal Windows. Not add here, just click on the solution label. Solution label. Add a new project. And what are the things you added? Just to copy paste over there. It is start working. In the same project, you can add it, and the older you can delete from there later on. There is no issue. So I'm expecting everyone has added this one. Am I right? Okay. So we have completed this one also. It's fine. And guys, here you should remember always here. Do you have the access to your SQL Server as well? Make sure you have mentioned your own username and password. Can you check your SQL Server connection string? Don't mention my username password. Make sure everyone has mentioned your own username and password. Have you checked it?
Yes.
With your server name, your login, your password, everything. Okay, so
Will create the DB name or automatically it will create?
DB name we have given in the connection string as well.
Yes,
This one.
it will
EF4.
automatically create.
Yeah. So now you need to do here, you just go to the tools option, and we having here package manager console. Are you getting the package manager console here? Go to here tools option, and we having the package manager console. Are you getting it? Tools and package manager console.
Yes.
Package manager.
Yes, it is coming.
Now run here command add dash migration and command name initial. So we added here add dash migration, then command name is initial. Oh. Oh, the one thing is there actually should be a not equal to. The thing is it should be not. So this one I forget to mention. If we have not defined any connection string, then it will use this connection string. If you have defined the not an issue, just use here not equal to. Then write here add migration initial command. So make sure you add it here not equal to, and then this command add this migration this way.
It succeeds.
And you will find out after running this command, it's added a folder with the name migrations. And you having a file also initial, and there you will find out up method, you will find out a down method, isn't it? Now here run the next command, that is here update. Have you done this command? Everyone?
Yes.
Now the next command is here update dash database. Run this command update dash database.
This is all good.
So next command is here update that database so that it will apply the things this way. And after that you will find out a database has been created with the name which we have given, EF core CSM. This way, in my case, database has been created. We having categories table and we having the products table, and everything is coming as a built-in convention. Category ID primary key, product ID primary key, name and varchar max, description and varchar max, name and varchar max. Is it fine? Everything is getting here. Are you able to create the database at your end?
Yes.
In how many people cases database has been created, you are getting exactly same DB. If you are able to create means your database connectivity is perfect. We are ready to go ahead now. If you are facing the issue, please make sure you are having the connection with your database properly without an issue.
To get the console,
That we can get it here. There is option here, tools, and we having this package manager console.
okay.
For window authentication, what is the connection string? Is there any SA is
For
required?
window authentication, remove SA and password, and do mention here integrated security tool.
SA not required. User ID not required.
As if user ID or password is not required, even you need to change persistent security info equal to integrated security tool.
For Windows authentication, removing persist security info, what we need to put?
We need to put here the integrated security. This is the connection string for window authentication. Just replace with your server. Integrated security equal to 3. Anything else do you have? So guys, for today's session, I have done from my side.
What
So
is the second command actually?
Second command is update dash database. This one.
Update it. Okay.
If you're doing the migration, so command is, this is the first command. There is the second command. So guys, for today's session, I have done from my side. If you have any query or doubt, please do ask, and make sure everyone is able to connect with the database to continue with tomorrow's session.
Where you have written that I'm getting that error when MVC-Full command I'm using.
Share the screen. So I think you added 2 projects, am I right? Okay, so here in the default project, make sure in the drop-down list, just look at the package manager console window, which you open right through there is the right-hand side, a default project. At the top label, there is a default project option. Not here in this window itself, package manager console window. In the right-hand side, node go, there is a yellow line, yellow streak. In the left-hand side, go to the left. There is a default project. The next option. Select a Dell. Now run the command. Do we have others people also having the issue? Do let me know. We can fix it right now. If it is fine.
Here it is showing no database provider has been configured.
Make sure you added node before is configured. If you look at here, there is option there. Yes. Open the database context file.
Yeah.
Shalendra, I'm getting this issue.
Open database context file. There you write the condition if condition. There should be the node option builder dot is configured. And scroll to left.
Left.
I'm not seeing right. Okay. Mention line number 12. Note option builder. Not operator into right.
Yeah.
Sir, not operator where we put? We put before. Not option builder.
Okay, not.
Sir, not operator is exclamation mark.
Acha. Like this.
Don't write note word, only use operator.
I'm not getting actually.
You now write note operator, exclamation mark.
Exclamation mark.
It's note
Not.
operator. Don't write anything. Only exclamation mark is VC and note operator. Now it is fine. Don't change anything. Run the same command now. What was you
Okay.
running?
Okay, fine.
What about this?
Can I share my screen? I'm getting this.
Migration is not working because you have not downloaded a tool package. Have installed 3 packages. I think install only 2 packages, not the third one. Can you minimize this one? Your package is different. It is Microsoft Entity Framework Core .tools. The package you installed, it is different.
Shall I remove you?
You can move it. Go to the packages again to right click. Manage naked packages. And package name I shared through chat window. Just copy from there and search it. I shared package name in the chat window. From there you can copy. Guys, what about others? I hope everyone has completed this one.
Bindusari, search for the entity framework core. Where you find
actually,
the SQL, where you find the SQL, below that tool is there.
I know that, but I thought something I saved
Bindeshwari,
in the
can you scroll down? Can you scroll down? Scroll down. Can you scroll down the packages? Not fast.
Slowly.
Just go to the top. At the top level, package is available. You are in between. Just go to the top level. Package is available.
This one.
Not this one. Just go to top level first.
Again search.
Which one?
Can you copy the package name from the chat window? I shared the package name in the chat. Now the package is coming. Selected one.
Yeah, that one.
This one.
Yes. Tool. Code.tool. Install it.
That I have selected.
Guys, what about others? Have we completed? I'm assuming everyone has completed this one.
Now this is done.
So now just run the command. Add migration update database.
Yes, build succeeded.
Devra, there is no issue. It's just a warning, so leave it.